So welcome back to my series on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Vento Aureo. In this episode I'll be covering the third volume of Vento Aureo, which is called Find Popo's Hidden Treasure. So at a certain point you see John and Koichi using a public phone. That's another type of public phone in Italy. That's it. That's not a big reference. At a certain point they show a diagram of Passione, which is Passione, not Passion or Passion, Passione, which takes its name for an alley in Milan. That's it, just an alley in Milan. So the thing I noticed in the first page of 5+1 is that there's in the toy shop, there's a written thing with Anno Mal DCA, which, what? The thing is that they're talking about is there's a lot of cover-up things in Italy, activities that are faked to seem like they're covering operation. When they introduce the rest of the Passione group, there's a book for math for third graders that has a written thing with Cineplismo, and I don't know what that means. It's what? And here's a bit of a clarification I had, because I made a sort of introduction to this concept in another video, and I talked about Narancia. So its name is Narancia, not Narancia, because I thought it was Spanish. But the thing is, Narancia is a sort of derivation from Arancia, and Arancia sounds a bit feminine, as a name. He looks a bit feminine too, but so they wanted to separate it from the word, and so they made Narancia. And it was one of the most confusing part of my last video, so I want to clarify it specifically. When they introduced Guido Mister, he's on about his fourth thing. He wants to eat some strawberry cake, but it's 4. That thing about 4, it has in different cultures it has different meanings, but I think it's more based on the Japanese one. The number 4 in Italy indicates following traditions and maintaining a defined social structure, being interested in material stuff, which actually kind of informs about Guido Mister's character, because it actually goes on about that thing later on in the series. In Japan and in Asian cultures, the number 4 brings bad luck, because she, for example in Japan, it's the same sound of the number she, and she is in deaf, so sometimes they even don't show floors in hotels. They just go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 4 and a year, which kind of anticipates something that's going on with this thing. Just as an extra, the fear of number 4, it's called tetraphobia. And then there's panna cotta fugo. Panna cotta is just food, is a sort of cake thing. Fugo is Old Italian for something that eliminates or makes run away. And it's kind of foreshadowing of its power. So it's interesting. I noticed is that when you see the big shot with every one of them, there's painting of the Aquarius symbol. I don't know what that means, but there's also flowers. I think they represent Aquarius too. Not sure what's going on. But then there's they talk about abbacchio. Abbacchio is not abbacchio. There's a H, but it means the C is hard, and there's 2 C's, so it's not abbacchio, it's abbacchio. It also has 2 B's, so there's double B. Abbacchio means a young lamb, destined for the meat house. It's a type of meat, just a meat. He's a meat guy. Mista is a band, Narancia is orange, and Fugo, it's make you run away. Later on there's Buccellati eating pizza. That pizza looks like tomato with green, and so that's a thing that looks like a very Naples style pizza, which is weird because it's not the best type of pizza ever. Just putting out there, it's not the best type, but yeah, I guess he likes it. Later on there's these old ladies that are talking about drugs, and they make a deposition of Christ pose, the 2 Marys going on. They're talking about drugs, but the way we introduced Zucchero and the other dude, they're driving, and they're really driving real bad, and there's a thing going on. People from Naples are very famous to have bad or just ignoring the street rules. Yeah, Zucchero it means sugar. It also is a name of an Italian musician. So later on there's the group on a boat, and there's Guido reading a book with Bri, B-R-I-V-S, and I'm not sure what that means. It looks like the font and colors of the Panini thing, which is Panini is a comic company. They also make figures, and there's Narancia listening to music, And by the reaction of Mister, it looks like it's one of the many summer hits that in Italy come out. They're known for being quite bad. So if that's the case, the reaction of Mister here is understandable. Then they all decide to go on Capri Island. Like, Capri is a famous tourism island. Just to be like, put that thing here, every single R in the names is rolled. I cannot roll R's, but you should roll R's to the pronunciation correct. So mind that when I'm talking. I'm using the correct pronunciation, but R's are rolled. So a bit thing about zucchero and his like power thing. Zucchero means sugar, and sugar, it melts in water easily. So I think that's the idea behind its power. Like, he can drive through the things. So at a certain point they reach the northern port of Capri Island, which is Marina Grande, and there's like a dude who has like an outlaw tattoo. And at a certain point there's Mr. like eating, and the thing is, in Italy, eating is like a very highly considered thing, so a meal should not be avoided. He's having a small salami with cheese and bread and red wine. It looks good, a nice setup. The thing about salami is that, about the pronunciation of it, is that the singular it's salami and the plural it's salami. A little tidbit on that. And that was my thing on volume 3, Find Popo's Hidden Treasure. This one is a bit shorter, but you know, they're shorter sometimes. Anyway, I will be seeing you on the next episode.